Okay, this is yesterday's Yom Yom. We didn't do it yesterday. I think I have a problem with I hope it's my screen and not the camera, but there's these lines that go through. I'll try to fix it up. In the bracha umalshini. Okay, so we say 19 blessings 3 times a day in what's called the Shmona Esrei prayer. It's called the 18 prayers, but really, another one was added on by Rabbi Shimon Gamliel was added on, I guess, against the church. Mainly that was against the church. So it says in the blessing Malshinim. So we say we pause slightly. It says, "May the enemies of the Jewish people," it said, "may they be crushed and destroyed and what is it, liquidated and subdued." V'tachnia. And so we make a little bit of a separation between the first 3 terms of destruction. May the enemies of Judaism, may they be wrecked, liquidated, whatever is destroyed, and subdued. And we make a little bit of a break between the first 3 and the last word. In consonants, this works with the intention that the first 3 that we say, he says, uproot, break, crush, ta'aker, ushaber. This refers to what's called the 3 impure shells that have to be totally eradicated. And subdued, this refers to the what's called klipat noga, shining shell. I'll explain this. That can be subdued, and that can be subdued, that can be subdued and purified. I don't know what he says. No, okay. That can be subdued, and I think instead of but, and it can be purified. Okay, but what does this mean? It explains it in the 6th chapter of the talk, 6th chapter and the 7th chapter of the Tanya. So it says that God created the world, right? God creates the world all the time. And he creates the world in a way that the world is bad. The world is very bad. The world is very frustrating. The world is very ungodly. It's very destructive and self-destructive and negative. The world, terrible place. Right? You have all these wars and diseases and famines, and people have depression and aggression, and there's an awful place, the world. But the reason we're here in the world is in order to get rid of these bad things and to find something that is, yes, good, and to improve it. Which I think that's genuinely in life, and that's ideally supposed to be what education is for, right? People are born like wild; they don't know what to do, and education educates you. A person is educated, whether the schools do it or whether life does it. But a person is to be improved. So you get rid of the bad things. Let's say you have a bad temper, or you like to lie, or you like to steal. So you get rid of that. But there's something about your personality that can be fixed up. So it's the same thing with the world. So in Kabbalistic terms, this is the things which are bad in the world, which lead to destruction, and they can't be fixed up. But you can't fix up the thievery or murder, things like that, or idolatry. So those things you just have to avoid totally. You have to avoid them. They have to be completely eradicated. Don't pay attention to them. Don't give any life to these things, to lust, to hatred. But then there are things in the world which can be fixed up. They can be fixed up. Ignorance can be fixed up. Sometimes childishness can be fixed up. The desire for simple pleasures, simple anger, like little children get angry. Those things you can fix up. Those things, there are things in the world, and especially things can be fixed up, like money, for instance. Money can be used for good things. You can fix it up, right? Everything, beauty, talent, all these things can be used for bad or good. And the things that they can be used for good, that's called klipat noga. It's called a shining shell. The world is a big shell over the godliness which is creating it. And there's 3 types of shells which cannot be fixed up. Those you have to ignore. And there's one type of a shell, which is the physical world, which can be fixed up and reveal that God is really inside of it. That is yesterday. Now let's do today. We'll do tomorrow. We go 1 second. today. The first Rebbe of Chabad said that Jewish physical things, your body, your property, your possessions, your family, whatever, all of these physical things for a Jew are spiritual. God gives us material bounty, money, success, etc., for us to transform it into something spiritual, meaningful, connected to the Creator. When occasionally it is not so, when God, in other words, when God does not give us enough money that we can live on, or success, then nevertheless we have to do whatever we can and serve God with whatever we've got, even a small offering, and that opens up the door that God will then give us generously. Like the story that I sent out this week. I hope people are subscribed to our weekly Devar Torah. It's mostly a story, my weekly Torah essay, which is like 95% story. And if you're not subscribed, send me an email and I'll subscribe you for absolutely free. You'll receive it an email. My email address is ravbolton@gmail.com. Rav, RAVBOLTON, one word, RAVBOLTON @gmail.com, and I will happily send you, you'll receive the weekly Devar Torah. But this week was about a man who didn't have anything, and because he gave from what little he had, as God gave him, opened up the doors for blessing. Okay, now let's do tomorrow, Shabbat. That was today. There is a book of philosophy, which is written by the Tzemach Tzedek. He said it's missing many chapters. He wrote it when he went to Petersburg. When he went to Petersburg, he had to answer a lot of questions to the philosophers and the wise men and the professors in front of the Tsar. There was the Tsar's government, and the Tsar was very religious. He was a very religious person, and his wise men had they interrogated the Rebbe on a lot of his ideas, because there were always renegade Jews that tried to convince the Russian government to pass laws restricting Jewish education. And of course, the government itself was radical, Russian Orthodox, and they wanted to see, the whole purpose of Christianity is to eliminate Judaism totally. So they wanted all the Jews, of course, to convert to theirs. So the Tzemach Tzedek, being the leader of a big portion of the Jewish people, and especially of the ideas, Jewish philosophy, if you want to call it, so he was always called to answer questions and told us to defend the Jewish education, especially of children. So therefore, he had to answer a lot of philosophical questions, and he wrote a book which is called Sefer HaChakira, which can be by, I don't think it's translated, Sefer HaChakira of the Tzemach Tzedek. Okay, and now let us have a story. 1 second.